What is happening, Cobra Kai fans? Now, I'm just going to jump straight into it. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm milking the cow while talking about this, or, I keep harping on the same point, or Jacob, you've touched upon this. But I think the last two videos I've done have really garnered a lot of traction and a lot of response to the fact that with there being as much intensity and the stakes being as high as they are for the SEKAI TAIKAI, and Mike Barnes literally being in the scene here and instilling to these kids the gravity of the situation. Before this clip was even revealed, I said, what if Mike Barnes reveals that he's seen people go down in the tournament? And he tells them in this clip, like I said in my reaction to it yesterday, that he has seen people, or he knows of people who have gone down. There are horror stories. I'm actually really worried for the kids. Now, I have talked a lot about in the past, especially when it pertains to Cobra Kai. It's in the Karate Kid mythology. There's certain lines that Karate Kid is never going to cross, and Cobra Kai will never cross to stay in line with the Karate Kid mythology and what it tries to tell. So it's not going to be a bloodbath. We're not just going to have people dropping left and right. But I do think there is a very high possibility that one of these kids may suffer a fate that is quite bad. Now, we've seen the kids in perilous situations before. We've seen Demetri get his arm broken. We've seen Miguel go into a coma. We've seen, Sam suffer PTSD and trauma. We've seen Robbie be smacked up and torn around like a ragdoll. We've had Hawk had his hair shaved off completely. All the characters that are the kids have gone through something. Tori was basically tortured in the previous season. Every single kid has gone through something. Kenny went through bullying. Anthony went through bullying. Like, every kid has gone through something. But they've never crossed a line with the kids. Now, in terms of the adults, have they crossed the line of death? Technically not yet. Most of the deaths that have happened within the show are because of outside circumstance, or because the plot would deem it necessary for Kreese to kill his captain, per se. But in present day, our current characters, the current roster, there hasn't been that line crossed yet. It was almost crossed at the end of season 5, and I'm so glad they didn't, because as I've talked about before, Chosen's death, if that was to be where Chosen died, you would have completely nullified his character arc. At least to me, I think you would have just wasted his arc completely. And the message there is you redeem yourself, you die. And that's a problem that I have with Western media. Whenever a character redeems themselves, all of a sudden, okay, boom, you got to die. I hate it. But they flirted with that idea. Now, it's a safe bet that Kreese is probably not making it out of the end of season 6. He could still live. It could be anyone. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But I think there's something very powerful in Kreese exiting the show in season 6 when the stakes are as high as they are for Cobra Kai, specifically as a dojo, getting taken off the map and all that stuff. But I think that goes without saying. I am more, however, worried about the kids. And I think Miguel is safe. He is safe. He may get hurt, he may get injured, he may go down, but he won't die. He'll be fine. He is the new age Karate Kid. He is the student we started with. It's the story of him and Johnny and whatever. It's there. Robbie, not even a question. They wouldn't put him through all the turmoil that they put him through just to kill him off. That would be a very... As much as I've joked about him being Anakin Skywalker of the show, we don't need to give him an Anakin Darth Vader type scene. Sam LaRusso, no, she's the heir to the throne. She's going to carry on the legacy. Anthony and Kenny will be fine. Tori will be, I think she'll be okay. The ones that I would keep an eye on, however, is Demetri and to an extent Hawk. Now, Hawk has been through quite a bit. He's been through the ringer. But with him rocking the American flag on his mohawk, which, I'll be real, does look a little bit goofy. It's giving major Apollo Creed vibes, and maybe it could be a bait and switch. And the official Cobra Kai Instagram page was mentioning today about Demetri dying or something like that. So that could be their tongue-in-cheek way of saying, yeah, Demetri's fine. Your theories are stretching it too far. But there's just a vibe that I get that something is off. Now, again, come back to this video this time next year or some point next year when part 3 is released, and we can look back and go, okay, you remember that theory about a kid dying? Oh, Jacob, you were so off base. There's something that I don't know. And the reason I'm firmly feeling this is based on the comments I received on my latest video. Everyone is somewhat in agreement. The kids are in real danger. Real danger. And that was always inevitable the minute you went global. And that was even more inevitable with the fact of this being Cobra Kai's final season. There needs to be some emotional weight and emotional gravity. Now, the difference here is you don't kill characters carelessly. That's what something like The Walking Dead would do. And you waste your characters and your talent. But there is a part of this where, I mean, even if none of the kids die, a couple of them are going to get really badly hurt. But I do wonder, are we going to see a line cross? And you could say, hey, Jacob, you said at the start of this video, the Karate Kid mythology is nothing like that. True. But with the tone of this scene right here and the way Mike instills to them, hey, you came to me my way. It reminds me of, I don't know if any of you guys are fans of the old CW shows back when they were actually good. When Captain Cold teams up with the Flash, it's not because he's like a good boy and he has a moral compass. It's because it's a transactional thing of like, okay, I'll help you, but we're doing it my way. And a lot of this could be to do with the fact that maybe Mike had a friend back in the day who went down in the ring, or maybe he knew of someone who didn't make it out the other side, you know, and then it recontextualizes Karate Kid 3 as to why Mike Barnes himself, as much as he was a hired gun, why he was such a loose cannon, you know, just relentless. You know, as much as I've said Chosen wanted to kill Daniel, Mike, let's not take it away from him. His mentality and his aggression is still palpable. And with him instilling that into the students in this scene, he's giving them a real sense of, hey, you don't want, like, if you don't want to see your friends die, you need to show up. And maybe you could touch upon a little bit of backstory there for Mike, where maybe he did have a friend that went down in the ring and he had to see that. And because of a decision he made or something he feels guilty for, a mistake that he made, it turned him into the Mike Barnes that we saw in the third film. Because as Cobra Kai has done it's done retcons before, but these are retcons that recontextualize Karate Kid 3 for the better, i.e. taking Terry Silver, a Saturday morning cartoon villain, as fun as he was to watch in number 3, and going, yeah, he was hopped up on drugs. Like, that's why he was the way he was. And it's like, you can hear that and go, yeah, I completely understand it, because terrorizing a teenager, I mean, for Christ's sake, over a tournament, like, it sounds insane. Just that, yeah, it's stuff like that. I really feel like we might touch upon, again, I could be reading too deeply into this, and they could be putting this out just to misdirect people and throw people off, but I'm really sort of gauging a lot of the comments I've been receiving and the messages I've been receiving. There is a lot of worry going on around, a lot of worry going around in regards to the kids this time. And it's interesting because you don't see that often with Cobra Kai. Like, there's always a bit of worry, but you know that the adults are going to get more of the smoke than anything else. But I think with the season 5 finale stretching to a rated 15 and fingers getting chopped off and people getting bloodied up, and this tournament going to a global level and it being compared to Best of the Best, the amount of blood sport references and things like that they've had over the seasons, and the level of maturity that season 5 had, where characters would grow and evolve. That's why I keep harping to everyone that's a fan of this show. When Miguel says, oh, it looks like I'm going to have to beat Robbie again, I think it's nothing to do with the fact that, hey, oh, I just need to be the leading man. It's like, no, it's because in this tournament, people can die. It's like, you know, the stakes cannot get any higher. It's not just a trophy on the line. It's literally like, okay, if you make a mistake, you're dead. Like, you could die. And it then highlights how dangerous the tournament is in and of itself. Like I said, it's like the Goblet of Fire Tri-Wizard tournament where people can get really hurt. Now, again, there was a comment that I would like to touch upon. Someone did say, oh, wouldn't this be irresponsible of them, blah, blah, blah. That's why they went to Mike, because Mike's the only one who knows about this stuff. Now, obviously, you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit. In a real-world setting, this is not going to happen, but it is only entertainment. It is a fictional show. It's merely just to be enjoyed. And I would love to get on here and say that all the characters are going to make it out of this unscathed, kumbaya, everyone's happy. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. I think there's going to be some serious damage. And I think, like I've said before, season 6 may be the final season, but if you wanted to pick Cobra Kai up down the road, Let me just focus my camera. Oh, it's focused itself. If you want to pick Cobra Kai up down the road for a potential season 7 or beyond, when the kids are older and Miguel and Robby are leading the line or whatever, if you want to do that, you've got to give them some baggage to work with. Imagine the fallout of the SEKAI TAIKAI being the reason season 7 happens a year from now. Like, you know, the characters dealing with whatever happened at this tournament. Things like that. Now, just because it's a global tournament, just because the stakes have been raised, it doesn't mean a character needs to inherently die. It just means it's a very fascinating talking point for me, is all I'm saying. And rather than just, you know, you know, when you had a passing thought, yeah, I just lost it. I'm rambling on. But guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of any of the points that I've raised. Let me know if you agree with anything I've said. Over the next few days, you're going to see a few more videos to do with me and Cobra Kai. I'm back in full swing. And the next few videos are like what to expect videos, what I expect of Miguel, what I expect of Hawk or Robby or Tori or Sam, and my sort of predictions as to where they'll go for part 1 and beyond. So make sure you're here for that. Now, as of right now, as of this moment, right now, the channel is currently residing at 7,694 subscribers. We're 6 away from 7,700. I can't begin to express how thankful I am to everyone thus far. We're 300 odd away from 8K. I'm excited to get there. And if it's your first time here, then make sure you smash that like button, jump in the comment section down below. I do a range of different streams and videos. I do everything from Cobra Kai to Star Wars to Marvel to life to football to regular Q&As. And I'll be bringing a Q&A back this time next week. Next week, and I'm going to put a post up on the community tab with my upcoming slate and schedule for streams, and I'll use this moment right now to set up my stream Saturday, 6th of July, 10:30 p.m. GMT. Be there. It's going to be a big group stream, a lot of guests, a lot of fun. You will recognize some of them, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I will see you all in another video very, very soon. And let me just get a nice little word of wisdom from...
Jesus Christ.